traffic heading past Mayfair Road up to North, and then again from just before Capitol Drive up towards Silver Spring. Northbound 43, a little tight around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. Southbound is looking good, and the rest of the area as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, windy and warm. Chance for afternoon rain or storms, a high of 80. Tonight, chance of showers far to the north, mostly cloudy and windy, a low of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
This is Brian Balaga. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN.
94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But then it turned into my deal, and then it turns into the micromanaging. You know, we will have been married 14 years this year, okay? She's never potted a plant.
Kramer? Hey, buddy, hey. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. What the hell is going on? Breakfast. I gotta be in at Brant Leland by 9. Why? Because I'm working there, that's why.
So, I kind of had a feeling it would be my job, but now it's like, you know, you got to take dirt out of that plant. And you got to knock the roots off. And you know, you got to water them when you're done. And you know, this is going to make a big mess, so go do it over here.
Jerry, I don't know if you've noticed, but lately I've been drifting aimlessly. Now that you mention it. But I finally realized what's missing in my life. Structure. And at Brant Leland, I'm getting things done.
Dyson, my one son, used to say it as a kid, and I used to laugh. He'd just say, "You're not the boss of me." So I had to pull that today. I said, I don't work for you.
Wait, this morning already you had to pull that?
How much are they paying? No. I don't want anything. I'm doing this just for me.
Clearly. So what do you do down there all day?
TCB, taking care of business.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chat is stacked just like a mountain.
Well, they said it was going to happen.
What's that?
It's like, you know, when your parents used to threaten a punishment. And you were like, they're never going to follow through with that.
Don't make me turn this car around.
Like, okay.
The bellowing.
Yeah,
Exactly.
We're in St. Louis. Yeah, you're going to turn this thing around and go back.
What are we talking about?
Green Bay Packers.
Oh.
Dropping the hammer. Laying down the law chew.
Oh, yeah.
Following through, if you will. Something you...
Before we get there, I don't think I've ever laughed as hard in my life as I did yesterday. And you all know what I'm talking about.
The emails we get provide you endless entertainment.
I had no idea you could do drugs at work. Or you're not supposed to.
Again, you can't. So follow through and dropping the hammer and whatnot as well.
That was shocking.
Yes. How much are we revealing here, gang? I don't know what the protocol is on this.
I mean, are there some things
I mean, we
like
had
that need to be...
So
it's Costanza, right?
Yeah, we had an email drop in our inbox yesterday from Greg Scalzo, our market manager here at GKB Milwaukee, that just was said, reminder, subject line, reminder. Team, happy Monday. It was Thursday, but whatever, Scals.
Maybe he meant to send it on Monday and he forgot.
The Avenue office and GKB offices are a drug-free work environment. This includes any CBD, Delta-9, THC products, including vape pens, THC, or any of the tangential products now on the market. Do what you do at home, but please do not bring it into the office.
To me, is hilarious. It's like the Seinfeld. You had sex at work. Was that wrong?
Who told you that?
Should I not have done that? Because I'm going to plead ignorance here.
Well, now you know. Now that's why the email was sent.
People need to be told that they can't do drugs at work. That's amazing to me. What else can't you do at work?
I don't think we want to find out, do we?
Excuse me, you have to wear clothes at work. I mean, how? This tickled me.
I thought it was for you.
No. I wish this, I'd fall on the sword for someone, though.
No, you wouldn't.
Because I asked Josh, I'm like, how many producers are there?
Like
7?
For all the stations?
Yes.
No, there's more than 7.
10.
Yeah, probably in that ballpark.
You know who I blame? Will.
What?
Because he's the least likely, right? It's one of those like, no way.
Yeah, I don't think part-time Will would be.
But I mean, if you wanted to bet and you guys are all addicted, well, you two are. Put the pictures up and go, I'm going here. I'll put $40 on Joe Schlunk. No? Is this getting uncomfortable?
I'd give you $40 if you could name a producer other than Joshy and Chris Larson.
Oh, you had to take a lot of Yeah, I'm out.
No, you're not. Come on.
No, you stop. I don't have to give
come
him
on.
$40.
Still...
Well, he's an executive.
No.
Another producer?
Show producer. Don't help him.
Eric.
Wrong. Thank you.
All right. Think the last email that you were entertained
I just
by.
want to put it out there that the contest is over.
Think about the last email you were entertained by and felt the need, and I would say that this was an appropriate reply all to an email.
Oh, I didn't look at that.
Hey, he's not following your
No, I'm
breadcrumbs,
not.
bud.
Okay, so
No, I can't name TMJ. What's
Correct.
Richie Pounds? He's my guy.
There it is.
Richie Pounds is a producer?
yes,
Love him. Never met him. Could walk in here right now, wouldn't even know who it
I
was.
believe he's here as we speak.
Is he? He's the best. I love him.
He's a producer.
Yeah.
You replied all because you said
Richie
you
Pounds.
loved his name.
All right. That's it. Who produces Vinny's show?
Greg Hill.
Who you also know. You see him
A lot
every...
of emails. A lot of emails. At least one a day.
Chewy power
Yeah.
ranks the producers by how frequently they pollute his inbox.
Yes. I mean, it's kind of the same names. I understand that's probably part of their job. Steinmuller, Steincooler, Steinman,
I don't even know who he's referring
Amy.
to.
birthdays.
Oh yeah, she's.
What's her name?
I mean, I'm not going to put her entire name, but
Oh,
Amy.
okay.
Yes, Amy is.
No idea.
Somebody you
Stein
would get.
Cooler.
She's like the administrator. She's
Yes.
handles all
Okay.
the business we need to. For all the people who come to work and spend a full day here, the information she shares is pretty relevant.
Can I ask you a question?
Whoa, that had a tinge of disdain.
Jesse's a producer.
I don't
Does
know
he ever
about
come
tinge.
here?
He is a producer for Madison.
Why
That's
do I
correct.
need Madison content?
Whole
Tell me
helping
why.
of disdain.
Why do it? I think my complaining got rid of the weather emails because I don't get those anymore.
No one gets them.
Good. I don't need to know the content in Madison. I really don't.
In interest of having good communication between the two of the 3 stations that make up ESPN Wisconsin, they share their content schedule with content teammates here.
Well, I should be able to unsubscribe.
No, you're in the ESPN. You're in the Milwaukee content group, so you're going to be a part of that.
I don't want to be.
Just hit delete. What do you care?
That's okay.
Let me try to get this sucker back on the tracks.
Yes.
If you break a rule, Chewy, do you believe in punishment? Do you believe that you should be punished or penalized for the infraction?
I see. I'm a proponent of I didn't know. So you should get like one I didn't know.
And then it wasn't me,
Yeah, I was
Shaggy.
about to say, yeah, then you go to Shaggy Defense. Wasn't me.
Yes. Don't you think you should get one I don't know?
Well, maybe. In regards to the Packers situation that we were referring to earlier, apparently the people who broke the law, broke the rule, did get an opportunity to explain themselves. What am I talking about? We talked when it was announced that the Packers were going to revoke tickets from season ticket holders who had sold 100% of their seats for multiple years. Well, TMJ4 tracked down one of those people who had been selling their tickets for multiple years and who had their season tickets revoked. And now this gentleman says he got the opportunity to explain himself. sent a letter out saying, my parents were ailing, we were taking care of them, they were getting up there in age, and we weren't able to make it to the games, which seems like a pretty reasonable explanation for not being able to go to NFL football games, no matter where they're being held, Gabe. But the Packers still said no, and the Packers continued to revoke their season tickets. Your reaction to the Packers, as I said, laying down the hammer here?
I don't know if they gave any warning to anyone other than in February. I guess if you haven't been to a game in 4 years, you couldn't manage to go to a single game in 4 years, or at least just because you can get around this if you just give away your tickets. Like if you give your tickets to a family member, like that's, I mean, obviously the Packers would know because it's a digital ticket and they know whose account scans it in. But if you've been selling your tickets on Ticketmaster for 4 straight years, they also know that. If you just give your tickets to somebody else, my guess is they would have looked the other way. But because you sold them for 4 straight years on Ticketmaster, that's probably why they ultimately revoked the tickets for this family who apparently lives in Nevada and has not been able to make it back for games.
I mean, one game in 4 years. That's the criteria you have to meet. Come on.
I mean, to be honest with you, there are so many things I don't know that would sway my decision on this. One, to your point, Gabe, how much warning was given? 2 years ago, when they started to see that a lot of the tickets were going to people out of state, that unfortunately there were opposing fans sitting in Lambeau Field, taking away from the home field advantage, did they send emails then? Was there some notification saying, hey, we're not there yet, but we're close to doing this. Just mind your P's and Q's and maybe get your affairs in order. Or was it the first time people became aware of it in February when the season had already passed and there was nothing you could do about it and, now you're, in the crosshairs. Now, I like the idea that they did allow each of these people who had their tickets revoked to explain themselves, give us extenuating circumstances. Why were you selling your tickets so consistently? I don't advise saying cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I don't advise that as a defense. But I do think that if you had some extenuating circumstances, if there was something legitimately going on, it feels like they should have listened to that.
For 4 years? That's kind of a long time.
Yeah.
4 years, one game, all you got to go to?
Aaron Rodgers was still the quarterback 4 years ago.
I think I'm siding with Green Bay, with the Pack. I mean, essentially, they can do whatever they want, right?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, because they are.
Yeah. God, I'm trying to think of an extenuating circumstance that would be okay.
But I'm saying this gentleman said that both of his parents were ailing. He was taking care of them. I don't think the Packers are going back for medical records and saying, well, when did they actually check into hospice? When did they actually pass away? Like, I don't think they're going to those lengths. But if you're both of your elderly parents ailing and you live in Nevada, isn't reason enough to be missing Packers games. My question to you is, what is? What would some of the extenuating circumstances that the Packers would then allow and rescind the tickets be?
Well, if you live in Nevada, how many games are you coming back for anyway? And I think my guess is that probably factored into the decision. Like, well, okay, you've been selling these for a while. You don't live in state, and it's not like you live in Iowa or Illinois or Minnesota, and it's just a state over. No, you're a couple time zones away, and it's a flight to get here. So how much are you actually going to be continuing to sell these tickets versus give them away now that you've been hit with this? Oh, yeah, we can give them to family members if that's what you want. Well, it's pretty clear that you could have done that before, and you decided to sell them straight up on Ticketmaster.
I'll take it one step further. Is it important that when something like this goes into effect, that there are quote-unquote sacrificial lambs, that there are people who actually have their tickets taken away to make sure that the message gets out there? If the Packers say, we're going to take the tickets away from people who have been selling them for 4 years or more, you haven't been to a single game, and then everyone who submits an excuse, a rationalization, gets their tickets back, feels a little like an empty threat. I feel like the Packers needed to make sure that there were at least some people who broke the rule and were punished for it.
And they had mentioned when they released this policy or let everybody know publicly back in February that, this is probably only going to affect less than 1% of the 40,000 season ticket holders that we have.
But if you know this going in, it's kind of like joining a country club, right? Well, you have a minimum every month in the wintertime to, to keep the restaurant afloat. You know that going in.
Yeah.
You can't use that, I couldn't get there, because you're getting charged regardless.
Mm-hmm.
You know it going in. So I guess I'm siding with the Packers.
The one thing I will point to is affordability is a big part here. And when we saw this come out back when it did, this notification was the red herring to the we are raising ticket prices once again. I think it would be a lot more feasible and realistic for many people to give those tickets to family members or people they know if it wasn't so damn expensive to go to a game, pay for concessions, do all that's involved. Now, there is a level of this is a privilege to attend. We don't have to guarantee you it. But when you keep raising prices year after year after year to these people who've had tickets for 40 plus years, it becomes less and less affordable, especially as you get older and your income becomes, a limited amount.
Fixed.
Yes. So there is sort of a chicken and egg portion here where, well, yeah, I would prefer you not sell your tickets 4 years in a row. That is a pretty easy thing to get around.
You just have to go to a game.
A game,
But there is also the fact of, if I'm going to keep these, it becomes less and less realistic for me to go out of my way to attend the game.
Well, then if you live in Nevada, why do you have the tickets? As a money-making venture?
I guarantee they're not selling them for face value.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So this is now a money-making venture for you? That's why you own the tickets?
I'm not siding with this person. I'm just telling you.
I'm just asking. Like, if you live out of state and things are more and more expensive, and you want to mitigate those costs, I understand. But, like, shouldn't you be able to, over the course of 4 years?
I'm sure in this fella's mind, as we read the story, his idea was I'd probably go back to a game or two a season.
Well, he would only have, again, so it seems like they have the gold package.
Yes.
So they only have typically 2 tickets
right.
anyway.
You have limited
Which, to be honest with you guys, that should change the parameters. Like, if you have a full slate of home games, right? You got 8 of them, and you go to 0, right? Versus if you have 2 and you go to 0. To me, that changes the expectation a little bit.
You mean between the Green Bay package and the Milwaukee package?
Correct.
I would agree with that.
Right. You have less time to go there. There are circumstances in life that, this guy's dad had cancer and mom had dementia. Like, I understand that he wasn't going out of his way to take a weekend to go to Green Bay from wherever he was living. There is an aspect of that where I do sympathize with that type of person. That's not the easiest thing to do when your life is in that situation.
800-990-3776. I think it's an interesting conversation. I don't know how I would feel if this were me. This guy says he's probably not going to root for the Packers anymore. Says he's been so hurt and affected by this. They hurt me. They hurt my family. I'm going to try to not be a Packers fan. Now you can make the argument, well, if you're going
to... It's easy not to like them when they suck.
But what I'm saying is...
That's foreign. I'm out.
But what I'm saying is maybe you weren't as locked in as you're professing to be when you're making the appeal to keep your tickets, right? If it's so easy for you to toss in your fan base, right, to cash in your fandom, maybe you actually weren't a big fan. I just think it's a fascinating concept. I also think that, like, you have assets. I have assets. We talked about this when the story first broke. What right do the Packers have to then rescind my assets? Whoa.
Right.
Assets.
But who says, how come the Packers can make money but I can't? Where's that rule? What does that mean?
Well, because the seat doesn't belong to you.
It doesn't, but I
the
already
seat.
paid for it.
But you're leasing the seat.
Yeah.
And now they can prevent you from it, right? It's like if you were to do a sublease on the place you live at, Joshy, and somebody finds out that you're making more money, the owner of the property goes, "Oh, I'm not comfortable with you making that type of money. When our lease agreement ends, I'm not renewing your lease agreement."
Or exactly, like an Airbnb. If you're Airbnb in your apartment, and all of a sudden the landlord's like, "Hey, man, you can't Airbnb the apartment. When we made the arrangement, my expectation was that you would be staying here full time, and now you're giving it out to these, other people, party goers, whatever it may be. They have the right to say no."
It's like a country club. Hey, we're raising your dues next year by $300. Oh, I'm not doing that. Well, then leave.
All right.
Then see you later.
I want to stress that the most favorable comparison we can come up with for the Packers is landlords. The community-owned, community-based organization that only exists because we paid for them and kept them afloat. They are the landlords. They are not going to benefit their fans in any way. That's the best we have for them. Because to me, sounds a lot like somebody, I don't know, the Dallas Cowboys, who are going to nickel and dime you. They're all in it for profit.
Yeah.
If that's who we want to compare it to, then okay, I will cede that. We are no different than anyone else, and we have no benefits being Green Bay Packers and community-owned team.
No, but I mean that's 100% true.
I
everything you just said. Like,
I want to reiterate that fact.
Yeah, like that's just the fact of the situation.
It is in name only.
That's what happens when you have 70,000 people on a waiting list. Like, oh, you don't like it? Tough, you know what? Next. Who wants it?
We got a long list. 800-990-3776. Reaction rolling in. That's 76. It's a Friday, but still got to make sure we say 6 when we give the number out. Jason Wilde is going to join the show next. Stick around.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you're making plans to propose to that special someone in your life, you know what I'm going to say. Chewy and I talk about it all the time. It's the Jewelry Center. It's the only place to go in Milwaukee. And it's the best place for a reason. Not only do they have plenty of options, whether you're looking for a lab-grown diamond or a naturally mined diamond, but they've got a great team that's always going to point you in the right direction to make sure that that dream ring becomes a reality. It's what I did. Of course, that was the only place I was ever going to go and trust Dean and the team that he has put together at the Jewelry Center. But maybe you don't have an idea of what that ring should look like. Go to our Pinterest page, bring those in, and that helpful team at the Jewelry Center always going to help you out. Check them out. 3 locations, Greenfield, Brookfield, or in Burlington. Shop TJC.com. And when you go to the Jewelry Center, you make sure that tell them that Gabe and Chew sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
We have an accident now, 43 northbound, the Rock Freeway, just past Racine Avenue. It's off on the right shoulder, so watch out for that. Otherwise, the delays basically on northbound 43 right around the North Avenue curve up towards Keefe. Southbound, hitting the brakes around Silver Spring, down past Capitol Drive. Northbound slowing down just north of Watertown Plank Road all the way up towards Silver Spring. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, windy and warm. A chance for afternoon rain or storms, a high of 80. Tonight, chance for showers far to the north, mostly cloudy, windy with a low of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Sip into a flawless summer. Hey, it's KBN's Brad Nortman. Let carbless, ready-to-drink cocktails be your passport to pool parties, patio hangouts, cookouts, and pure summer bliss. Carbless is here to spark a summer of flavor and fun. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, just 100 calories, and of course, all the good vibes. From fruity flavors to refreshing fizz, Carbless stands out in a sea of same old seltzers. See what flavors fit your summer. Find your bliss today at drinkcarbless.com and enter to win a flawless summer prize pack today.
Truck drivers, the job you have today might not be the one you want tomorrow, and that's okay. At Schneider, our transfer team is here to help you if you decide the job you picked isn't the right fit, or if you come across life changes that require a different schedule or home time. Last year, nearly 2,000 Schneider drivers transferred to different opportunities at the company that better met their lifestyle. Find the driving job that fits yours and your family's needs. Apply now at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
If you're a motorist of the 4-wheel variety, please watch out for those of us in Wisconsin who do their traveling on 2 wheels. Adjust your mirrors to reduce your blind spots. Allow motorcyclists a full lane width. Use your turn signal when merging or changing lanes. And allow more following distance between you and the motorcycle. Motorists and motorcyclists can work together to achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roads. 0 in Wisconsin. Together we can save lives. Learn more at zeroinwisconsin.gov. Wisconsin DOT.
All power, zero compromise. Ego cordless outdoor power equipment features advanced lithium battery technology that exceeds the power and performance of gas without the noise, fuss, or fumes. From mowers and trimmers to blowers and pressure washers, one battery powers over 90 tools. No wonder it's the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power. Power beyond belief. Visit egopowerplus.com to learn more or to find an Ego retailer near you. That's egopowerplus.com.
When I wake up,
the best mornings
in the morning light,
start with Wrangler.
I pull on my jeans and I feel alright.
Jeans, jackets, and shirts that get your day started on the right foot.
I pull my blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Good mornings make for better days.
I pull my blue
blue jeans on. I pull my old blue jeans on.
Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Ready, down, hunt. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field-tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Very interested to see what Jason Wilde thinks about this latest development with the Green Bay Packers. Good morning, Jason. How are you doing today?
I'm great, everybody. How are you?
We are good. We have been talking about the fan who spoke to TMJ4, saying that the Green Bay Packers, as promised, rescinded his family's tickets, revoked their tickets. He lives in Nevada. His father had cancer. His mother had dementia. He explained all of that in an appeal letter to the Green Bay Packers, and yet they continued to revoke the tickets. And so we were just having sort of a philosophical debate about, a family-owned team, and they're supposed to be family. And, when this gentleman gave the explanation for why he had been missing it, they still said, sorry, we're taking them. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not siding with either side here. I'm still just gathering the facts. What is your reaction to this development, which we kind of knew was going to happen?
Yeah, I don't. Is there an actual debate here? Like, obviously, this guy got exactly what he deserved. I mean, this is what happens. Hey, we need to improve our home field advantage, and I'm sorry that your parents were ill, but we're letting in too many opposing fans, so I'm sorry, we're taking away your tickets.
I hear it, Jason. I hear it.
Yeah.
What do we call it, Joshy? A touch of disdain?
Yes.
Yeah, look, I understand that they are a business. I understand that Mark Murphy has been incredibly successful on the business side during his presidency, which is about to come to an end. I understand that there is a problem with ticket holders that own those tickets solely for the purpose of reselling them. Now, again, my grandparents bought season tickets at State Fair Park in Milwaukee in the 1940s to help keep that organization afloat. I used to sit behind home plate growing up at County Stadium. So I'm not just high horse beat writer guy who doesn't have to pay for tickets because he gets in free to go to work, preaching like I'm some sort of expert. I have been there. I have purchased stock for my father in 1997. So I want to make sure people understand where I'm coming from here. I understand all of those things. I read that story, and especially irritating to me anyway, was the form letter that the guy received back. We have gone from Bob Harlan answering his own damn phone to sending form letters to people who send in their appeal of a policy that is not designed to get rid of that guy. And now, again, there are some details in there that as a reporter I would like to know. So he's been reselling on Ticketmaster, right? So that is what is allowing the Packers to do this. He's using the platform that the Packers want you to use.
Correct. He's following the rules.
To resell your tickets. So they could get a second cut of the same tickets, by the way. Right? That is part of it. So he's doing it that way. He does not have control over who buys his tickets using it that way. Like my buddy Kyle Cousineau here in town, he's like Match.com for Packers fans who are trying to sell their tickets and want to make sure that another Packers fan gets them. You can't do that through the Packers and Ticketmaster's own platform. So don't give me the form letter response when the guy is doing it exactly the way you want. So you can take more money on tickets you've already sold once, okay? But my biggest frustration with this organization, and again, this is why I wanted to share my credentials, having grown up in a Packers family. Now, look, I don't know what my brother does with the tickets. I don't have them. I don't need them. I don't want them. I mean, I could see him selling all the tickets each year and getting one of these letters too. I don't know how often he goes to games. But the bottom line to me is you love and I have said this to Mark Murphy's face. If I have a sit down with Ed Policy when he takes over, I would say the same thing to him, and I would share my history with the organization. You love the narrative. We're owned by the fans. We're the only community-owned team in all of American professional sports. Then you know what? Freaking act like it once in a while. They just don't.
Yeah,
it is a total fraud. And I'm sorry. I am not being anti-capitalism. I'm not being anti-profits. But they're up here trying to get out of paying taxes to the city of Green Bay. If my house starts on fire, I want the fire department to have enough money to freaking show up here. So just live your narrative, right? I just want authenticity. And this appears, and again, maybe there are, maybe this guy is altering his story slightly to make it sound more like a story where you will feel sorry for him. I don't know. I didn't do the reporting on it. But at every turn, it feels like that this team really likes the narrative of being all about the fans, and we've got the greatest fans in our community. You saw what they did for the draft. I mean, I'll tell you this. Had Wisconsin people and Packers fans not shown up the way they did, this draft would have been a failure, because there sure as hell weren't thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people flooding Austin Straubel Airport to come to the draft. So I'll step off my soapbox now.
Jason, player more likely to hold out till they get a contract, Zach Tom or Elton Jenkins?
Good question. I would think it has to be Elton Jenkins. Now, again, I have not talked to Elton at all. I did appreciate seeing this reported by someone else, so the people who claimed I was making it up to create drama had to, maybe they didn't acknowledge that they were wrong, but they certainly were wrong. Again, that situation to me feels like such an easy thing to resolve, since the general manager came out and said that he believes Elton Jenkins is an all-pro center. Guarantee existing money. You don't have to give him any new money. Give him the security for the next 2 years of his contract. Add some voidable years to spread out the cap charge. Create some cap space for yourself, and give him the security he's looking for on an offensive line where only the new free agent guy they signed to play left guard, Aaron Banks, and Elton Jenkins were not mentioned as having their jobs open for competition. The right tackle, the left tackle, and the right guard all do. Those three also happen to be in the last years of their contracts. So I don't know if Zach Tom has the leverage to hold out. Again, I mean, if I was Elton and he has not asked for my opinion, I would say if you want to start the season with Jacob Monk as your starting center, like Morgan Freeman says to the guy that wants to blackmail Bruce Wayne for being Batman, your boss is a vigilante who beats up bad guys, I'm paraphrasing, and you want to blackmail this man? Good luck. You want to start the season with Jacob Monk instead of me after you've predicated your entire offensive line shuffle on me being your center? Good luck.
Quick follow-up on that before we get to Gabe's question. I have been thinking about this a lot in the last 48 hours, and I mean that sincerely. The Packers value versatility on the offensive line. They love to have these guys who can move from one spot to another. The problem is, as we have discussed, there's a different pay scale at the positions. So now you're rewarding a guy for his versatility and his ability to move from one spot to another, but not really rewarding him because you're taking money out of his pocket. I've been struggling to figure out what the happy medium is here. Should the Packers pay the same amount across the board if the expectation is for guys to be able to move seamlessly from position to position, Jason? Because that would go against the NFL's structure for the pay scale at those positions, right?
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't get the feeling that Elton is doing this because he's moving to center and centers get paid less. I get the feeling that this is happening, and that may be a secondary reason, or that may be part of what they've presented in their conversations with Russ Ball. But I think it's simpler than that. I got 2 years left on my deal. There is no guaranteed money left, and I have a really high cap number in 2026, and I'll have turned 30 years old the day after Christmas this year. And you guys don't like 30-year-olds, and you don't like third contracts. So guarantee some of the existing money so I know where I'm going to be the next 2 years. And then if you guys decide to move on after that, at least I don't want to go into this season not knowing what my future is with this team. And I think that's a reasonable ask for a guy that's been to 2 Pro Bowls, that it has been called an all-pro by his general manager. I don't think he's necessarily thinking of it as, I need to get mine now before I'm considered a center and I get paid less. I don't think that that's the way he's viewing it. To your point, though, that is they preach it all the time, almost as often as they talk about how they're owned by the fans, that they want versatility on the offensive line. And you're right, the pay scale is different for different spots, but they've sent a very clear message. They're definitely not paying their starting left tackle. I mean, could they be more clear? Hey, just keep grinding, Rashid. We appreciate you eating up all these starts and being a serviceable, solid left tackle. We're just going to spend every single season trying to replace you.
How far do you think Elton's willing to go?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because it's one thing just to miss the OTAs and offseason, could this stretch out to training camp? Because then it gets more serious.
Yeah, you're right, Gabe. I don't know. I really don't. Because at what point do you have to say, all right, because training camp, you also start getting fined, right? I mean, you don't get fined.
I would assume he would show up and much like TJ Watt did a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He's there, but man, my knee's a little stiff
like
today.
Jordan Love did.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
Like Jordan Love did. People forget that, right? Because he got his $55 million. So, yeah, I would think he would do that too. But at the same time, I just would be curious what his strategy is and what feedback he's gotten back from the team. Like, he has not gone Trey Hendrickson, right? Like he's not out there bashing the team. I mean, the guy went on the tailgate tour last year. What I would, if I was him, I would say, look, I've done everything you guys have asked, right? I've been a top flight player. But again, the other part of this, and I use Tausch as the example, like Tausch tore his ACL twice. He did it in contract years both times. Now, I make this joke, but there's a little bit of truth in it. I'm glad he did, because had he not, he would have made so much money as such a top flight right tackle. He wouldn't need our show. He'd be doing something else, right? He'd have made it so much money, he wouldn't need to work.
Imagine how big the pickler would be.
Oh, no kidding. Hey, at least I got my membership. But Elton Jenkins tore his ACL in Minnesota a few years ago. Like, that's another reason why. And the other example I always use is Nick Collins, who, and I love his agents. They are still convinced that I helped both Nick and Ryan Grant get their contracts by being a vocal critic of the team. I don't think I hold that much sway, but I'm glad that they view it that way. But Nick Collins skips the offseason program because he wants a new long-term deal. It works. He gets it. Then he breaks his neck. And his life would be he's coaching at Bethune-Cookman. He's happy. He's got a great life now. But that was a life-changing contract to have that security and that guaranteed money included. And he got it because he held out in the offseason. I always tell the story about Mike McCarthy berating me Jen, you might have been there for Fox 6 at the time. It was his first year. Al Harris doesn't come to the offseason program because he wants the contract extension and more guaranteed money. McCarthy's all pissed off about it, pulls me aside after the sideline presser, wants to know who my source is. I'm like, Mike, I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. And because the source was Al Harris. So I just, these guys don't have much leverage. And in Elton's case, this is the only time he's going to have even better leverage, which is not only withholding his services, but they've predicated their line shift on him being the center. So I would say he has to take this as far as he can in hopes of getting what he needs.
Jason, it's not sexy talking about the offensive line, but it is obviously significant, so we appreciate your insight. Have a great one. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, everybody, take care. Be good.
He's Jason Wilde. Wilde and Tausch is right after Jen, Gabe, and Chewy each and every morning here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee.
Your next best round of golf, well, it's going to happen for you at the Wisconsin Country Club if you do what I did and join out there. There's no assessments, no food and beverage minimums, and a beautiful course that's fun and challenging. I was just out there yesterday using the range, played 9 holes at my leisure. It's fantastic. And honestly, one of the cool parts, a little turn bar we've got between 9 and 10. Great place for a drink, either during the round or right after the round. Tree-lined fairways, specially groomed greens, and a top 100 teaching pro. Plus, the Wisconsin Country Club has tennis and pickleball courts as well, and a pool with themed Sunday fun days every week. So get started today. Join like I did by visiting thewisconsincountryclub.com for membership info. The Wisconsin Country Club, just a fairway away.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Northbound on the Rock Freeway, just past Racine Avenue. Looks like we've got a crash off on the right shoulder, so careful with that. We've got northbound 43 slowing down from about Fond du Lac Avenue all the way to Keefe. Southbound 41 slowing just south of Appleton Avenue past Capitol. Northbound's backing up just before Mayfair Road up past Burleigh. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies, windy and warm, a chance for afternoon rain or storms, a high of 80. Tonight, chance for showers far to the north, mostly cloudy and windy with a low of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Escape the city and relax at Lake Lawn Resort in beautiful Delavan, Wisconsin. Enjoy outdoor activities on Delavan Lake. Tee off at the Lakeside Majestic Oaks Golf Course or unwind at the award-winning Calidora Spa. With both indoor and outdoor pools, there's fun for the whole family. Take a cruise on the Lake Lawn Queen. Explore stunning shores and historic landmarks and enjoy delicious food and drinks on board. Book your stay today at lakelawnresort.com, where everything is better at the lake.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp recently surveyed more than 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. BetterHelp has more than 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We are all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout for 10% off your first month of therapy today. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
ESPN Wisconsin's Brian Balaga here for my new friends at Surfside. There's only one thing better than Surfside and golf, and that's Surfside iced teas and lemonade plus vodka on the golf course. This golf season, there's no better drink to enjoy on the golf course. Surfside is light, refreshing, and made with real vodka and real brewed tea. Plus, there's only 100 calories, 2 grams of sugar, and 0 bubbles. That's right, no carbonation. Cheers to hitting the fairway, and cheers to Surfside. It's tea time. Must be 21. Please drink responsibly.
On Thursday, May 22nd, join Sharp Literacy for the 9th annual Unwrapped Milwaukee fundraising event from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at 3rd Street Market Hall. Unwrapped is an evening of community, creativity, and food. Top area chefs will create gourmet appetizer, entree, and dessert bites using McDonald's ingredients. The fundraiser will support Sharp's STEAM-based educational program serving thousands of urban elementary students in 47 Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine schools. For tickets, visit sharpliteracy.org. York.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards. They're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel. It's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
It's Friday, and that means it's time to check in with GKB President Craig Karmazin.
Gabe, you're right. I actually just looked at the stats. No hypocrite has ever won a championship.
Fridays with Mo.
Mark Attanasio, the last thing he wanted to do was play a video and tribute Craig Counsell in any way. So I give Mark Attanasio a ton of credit.
Craig Karmazin on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy is sponsored by Landworks Landscape Services. Their creative and talented team will design, build, enhance, and maintain beautiful landscapes in southeastern Wisconsin. Learn more and see their work at landworkswisconsin.com.
It's Craig Karmazin coming to us from New York. Good morning, Craig.
Morning. Wow, full house in Milwaukee. I can't believe I'm not there.
I thought you might be here as well, but sounds like you got some business to attend to. All right, we'll start today with Dealer's Choice. What are you hot on today?
Well, I'll be at the Knicks Celtics game 6, so I'll be watching Chewy Celtics. Hopefully their season come to a close. So
Isn't
the
that
NBA
cheating?
On the Bucks, you're saying?
A little bit, huh?
No. I mean, the NBA has just been so incredible.
You can't go to other games?
Yeah, not as an owner.
Why not?
I just don't think it's
these
right.
Nuggets Thunder games, it's not cheating to watch, Chewy. You could be staying up late and watching Nuggets Thunder. It's unbelievable basketball every night. I'm sure you're staying up and watching these games.
Well, even I'm not staying up and watching those games.
Who's going to win? Celtics?
I mean, it's not going to be easy. I think the Knicks win tonight, but I was all over the Celtics winning Game 5, just like when you lose your star and you're coming back home. But Celtics reminded us they're really good even without Tatum. They were 10-2 this year without Tatum. So tonight's going to be a great game. This will be the most electric Madison Square Garden will have been since 1999. So, like, the biggest game of the century in Madison Square Garden.
Does the NBA feel more wide open to you than it has in past years?
I mean, it's so wide open just because it feels different because this year it was kind of commonly accepted there's only 3 teams that are going to win. It's either the Thunder, Cavs, or Celtics. They were the 3 teams that were so dominant this year. And for 2 of them to be on the brink of elimination and one of them to be eliminated before we've gotten to the conference finals, I think that's why it feels that way. I mean, I think the year the Bucks won, like, it proved to be, like, really wide open that year. And so there are a lot of years that happens, but I don't think we've seen a year where at the conference finals level, there's 3 just far and away favorites, and they all could be eliminated in this round.
Greg, what's your take? What was your take on the Packers schedule? You think it was unfair?
Well, I guess why do people think it would be unfair?
Because the front and the back end.
No, I mean, don't you think it ends up like being so different? Like what you think teams like last year we thought the Vikings were terrible. Like the Vikings were like a given that they were a last place team that nobody like thought highly of at all. So like I don't think we totally know what the schedule. I think people go a little too far on the hard and easy.
But
if you're talking about the travel, I could understand that being unfair.
No, I'm talking about you want layups on either the front end or the back end. Okay, because they got them on the front and then they got them on the back. So if this thing starts, because it always comes down to the end of the year with the Packers, and if they start 2-2, I think that would be fine. But when you got to play Baltimore and then go to Minnesota, that is the difference between maybe being the 2nd seed and being the 7th seed. Would you agree?
Yeah, but don't you think getting the Ravens, like if you're going to play the Ravens, don't you want a team like that? Or are the Packers not built for December and January as much as they used to be?
Baltimore's cold.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels to me like, that Vikings game is setting up to be kind of like what the NFL did this year with, they had the Lions and the Vikings ended up playing late. The Packers played the Vikings late. Like, I think that's just like, if you're a good team, they want to potentially set you up to be flexed and, maybe they're playing for the division or maybe they're playing for a playoff spot. I just think that's a matter of being good. Like, you're going to play at least a good team, down the stretch in those last 2 games.
I don't know. I just think they could have gave them Minnesota at home.
Yeah. Speaking of Minnesota at home, the Brewers have Minnesota at home the next 3 days. I'm hot on that.
You're hot on the Brewers?
3 huge games.
I mean,
yeah.
Are you hot on the Brewers bats? Because the Brewers bats aren't hot.
I'm worried about the Cubs' schedule in the month of May. And so the Cubs play the White Sox this weekend. They play the Marlins again. They play the White Sox again. They play the Reds. They have the easiest May schedule. So, the Brewers have to somehow look up and see the Cubs playing the White Sox and realize, all right, we have the Twins at home. We have to at least keep pace with a team that's playing against the White Sox. So, huge weekend. Brewers need to get at least 2 out of 3. They may even need to sweep just to keep up with the Cubs. And, the NL is so good this year that I feel like you have to win the division. So, yeah, May baseball matters more to me than it has in many years. These Brewers games are all big.
It's simple to me, though, Craig, if you want to talk about the Brewers, because their offense, we knew without Willie Adames, other guys would have to step up. But Contreras has started to hit the ball a little bit better, but you need Contreras and Yelich to start performing if you want that offense to have any sort of consistency, because, it's been the other guys. It's been Sal Frelick's been really good, and Bryce Terang's been really good offensively. They need the 2 guys that, have been all-stars before to start performing like that.
Yeah, Contreras is getting there, but you're right. Hoskins is the only guy who really, has materially, because Frelick started hot, and Terang, is such a great overall or all-around player. But you're right. Unless Yelich gets it going and Contreras, I think you're right. I don't see how they beat the Cubs, but both of them are obviously capable of getting going. So, yeah, much attention on American Family Field this weekend.
Much attention on the Giannis sweepstakes here in Milwaukee and beyond. Joshie, you told me that our friend Emmett Golden, who was on ESPN Game Night, had a take. It's a take. Craig, we want you to take a listen to it.
Hell no.
No,
Hell
no chance.
No to the no
chance.
No
chance.
Giannis
for Mobley. No chance.
No. Now
you're hanging up the phone on Giannis.
I'm hanging up the phone on Giannis. Evan Mobley, what is that?
Emmett.
Evan Mobley's like 24 years old. If you say, give me Darius and J.A., I'll do that. If you say, give me J.A. and DeAndre Hunter, I'm doing that. But Evan Mobley has a chance to be and I'm jumping out of a tree here. I might be talking crazy. If he hits his potential, he could be better than Giannis. Now, will he hit the potential? I don't know. Yeah. But I love, for me, and this is just my personal opinion, I love good young players a lot more than I do guys in their 30s.
All right, Craig, we know you're a big fan of Emmett and his work. What do you think of that?
I think it's great for Emmett to think that. That's wonderful. I think from the time I've been coming on this show, one of the first times I came on the show, I think there was the New York Times, Giannis is leaving, blah, blah, blah. Shams came out with a report that said Giannis may think about leaving. I think around the country we get that's going to be a talk. I think in Milwaukee, we've seen this act before, and I just don't need to get on the trade machine. Let's just let Giannis be the same person he's been for the last decade plus in Milwaukee. Part of this community, families here, his kids go to school here. I don't think we have any reason to, start firing up any kind of trade machine.
You don't think it's based on what other guys do on the team, like Portis and Rook and some of the other guys who have player options?
I think it's a lot based on what the meeting ends up being that happens every year between the team and Giannis. And it's not just one meeting, right? There's constant conversations. But I think Giannis wants to be a part of a team that's competing for championships. And what Giannis needs to see from the Bucks and wants to be a part of is a team that's competing for championships. And that's what this ownership group has committed to from literally the day this ownership group bought the team from Herb Cole. So it has been such an aligned partnership from Giannis to ownership, John Horst, the coaches we've had. Like, this has been one of the most aligned organizations, not just in the NBA, but in all of sports. Like, do you remember any time where it's like, oh, Horst wants this, but the coach wants this? Like, there's none of that.
No, it's
ownership wants this, but coach wants this. Giannis wants it. Like, everyone's aligned that they want to compete for championships. It's really hard when you have 35% of your salary cap in Dame Lillard that isn't going to play next year. So you got to be really, really slick to take 65% of your salary cap and try to compete for a championship. And so that's what the Bucks, that's the Bucks' homework assignment, because every year the Bucks want to compete for a championship.
What do we have to do? What can we do to get you in that meeting, Craig? I want you in that meeting when Giannis sits down with Bucks brass. You're part of the Bucks brass, technically.
No, I'm like the Wynwood. I'm not the brass.
But you're in the brass. You're there.
What?
Brass adjacent.
You're a Wynwood?
Yeah.
Like Steve Winwood?
No, like an instrument.
Oh, I thought we were talking about
clarinet.
A blowhard?
They're playing trumpets and tubas and trombones. And Craig's saying
he used
the
brass.
saxophone. Yes.
You said brass, and he thought this would be a cool, orchestra.
Yeah, but you know
joke.
what the meeting's
I
going
thought
to be
Dan was
about.
going to laugh at that
I
one.
could tell you what they're
actually
going to
thought-
say in the meeting anyway.
I thought that one could even tickle Big Cat over there, like me taking the word brass and going the instrument
You
route,
think
but I
he
guess
has
not.
any idea what instruments are?
A Wynwood? What is that?
Again, Steve. I thought it was
Yeah.
Valerie.
Isn't that a hotel chain too?
Wyndham?
No,
Like Wyndham by Wynwood
I think
or
it
something?
is.
Yeah. I think usually when Chewy says, I think it is, there should be a percentage accuracy when Chewy says, I think it is.
Craig, are you aware
Like,
that
then
you
we should-
cannot do drugs at work? Did you know that?
He's 100% right on the hotel, by the way. I Googled it.
There you go.
Wynwood Inn and Condos.
Craig, what else can't you do at work? Do you have to wear clothes?
I don't know if
Wait,
Craig
was
got
this
the
in
email. Did you get the email?
I heard about the email. I heard an email was going out. And was this related to the vape?
I mean, we did not get into why the email
I'm
was
uncomfortable.
sent.
Yeah, because you're a suspect.
I wasn't here on the day it happened.
Wait,
Right?
Josh,
That's
why
what they
would
all
you be
say.
You know who they all
uncomfortable?
blame, Craig? On the text chain. First person they blamed.
Well, you need it for medicinal purposes, right?
I got glaucoma really bad.
No, I feel like between your glaucoma and your concussions, if that helps, I think you could get a waiver. You could go to HR.
Really?
I would.
All right.
I think you should go for it, too.
You've got the support of the CEO. Like,
I don't know if that would work in a
I just
state
want
where
to
it's not
record that
legal.
meeting of Chewy and Lisa, our head of HR, like having that discussion. That'd be awesome.
It'd be like the guy who sent the letter in explaining why he hadn't been to a Packers game in 4 years. And the Packers were like, cool story. No.
Craig, how
That's
many
how that
people
went
you know
down.
at work here? Be honest.
Like at our office?
If we lined them all up and you came in, could you name every employee of yours?
Well, they're called teammates, but I could not.
Okay, that's fair. What's wrong
No, I
with
mean,
employees?
again, we
It's
use
gotten
a certain
so-
vernacular here at GKB.
All right, okay.
You've been a teammate for, I mean, pretty close to 20 years at this point, right?
I
When did you
guess.
and Craig start doing your show?
When he took me at my interview to Denny's, that's when.
A little moons over my hammy and closes deals.
You act like it didn't work.
Yeah, I mean, and you think I'm still figuring out if I dollar value the lifetime of Chewy's relationship, if that breakfast was even worth it on Chewy.
No, especially when you asked for my resume, and I said, "What's that? What's a resume?"
Good trivia question. Who connected us for that breakfast?
I believe it was Eric, Michigan Eric.
Michigan Eric was there, but it's not like you knew Michigan Eric. Like, who connected us so that I could call you and we could meet?
I
Like,
have
who gave
no idea.
our numbers? Like, how do we get each other's phone numbers?
Give me a hint.
He is still a teammate today with GKB.
It has to be Wilde, right? Who else did you know?
Not Wilde.
Negatim.
Not Homer, not Negatim. I'm getting guesses both on site as well as from you all.
I have no idea.
Who would it have been?
I mean,
they're still with the company?
That's what I'm trying to
Sam, I am Green Eggs and Sam?
No. You weren't friends with Sam.
Yeah, I was about to
He
say,
didn't
like,
see
you're
your
just
number.
naming people that you didn't know until you joined the
I'm
company.
trying to think of people that were going this far back, still with the company.
This is like an extreme version of Reach You, by the way.
Okay.
Here's the clue. What are the 3 letters that are chanted when Giannis is at the free throw line?
1, 2,
Okay, that's
3.
funny. Now, that's a good pop. But
You should know.
MVP.
come on, Chew.
MVP.
Okay.
Hold
and what? Wait, nope, it's not. This is, and what are even the bigger 3 letters in all of sports, even bigger than MVP?
Hall of Fame?
Nope.
Gabe, you're failing.
Gabe or Jen, do you know?
No.
I mean, letters that are bigger
it's
than
part of the
MVP.
production. It's part of the
NFL.
production. Every time this person joins the Homer Hour.
TVV.
Tim Van Voorn?
There you go.
TVV.
No idea.
TVV.
No idea.
Tim Van Voorn, Fox 6 Milwaukee, was the original person who connected us.
Really? Great hair. Unbelievable hair. Jealous hair.
Takes
That's
one.
what he has.
Takes one to know one.
I mean,
see?
I typically think about how good of a human TVV is before his hair,
I mean,
but,
he
to each their
weathered-
own.
But he weathered the mullet storm. Even when mullets were like, dude, what are you doing? Like, remember when they were horrible? They were in Billy Ray Cyrus, and then they were like, you look like a goon. TVV didn't even stare down, just powered through. Great hair.
Dude, that is the
now
greatest
I'm
point,
uncomfortable.
Chewy. No, that is, Jen, you have to admit, that's one of the best points Chewy has ever made. TVV just, said, you know what? I'll work through those 3 or 4 years
Yes.
of awkwardness, maybe even 7 or 8 years of awkwardness, and I'll be on, the #1 TV station with a hairstyle that's in no way socially acceptable, but he stuck with it, and it came
Awesome.
back.
I don't agree
you
with
gotta
a
give the
single
guy-
word that has come out of either of your
Awesome.
mouths in the last 1 minute.
I just want to say, weathered the mullet storm is one of the best lines we've had on this program.
I mean,
in a
it's
long
probably going to be
time.
the name of the podcast.
Yeah. That was
He'd be
unbelievable.
upset that I
he's
said that.
also
No, because
he's
the
also
greatest
solely
human ever.
responsible for he brought Jen to Milwaukee. This whole thing wouldn't be together if it weren't for TVV. Chewy wouldn't be here. Jen might not be in Milwaukee. Who knows?
TVV MVP.
So we need to have a TVV appreciation day on Jen, Gabe, and
I
Chewy, is
think
what you're
yes.
saying.
Now that I can
think
get
you all
behind.
need to wear mullets.
That I won't do.
Oh, come on, Jen. For TVV, you wouldn't
Absolutely not. No.
do it? TVV Appreciation Day?
100% TVV Appreciation Day, but I would lean towards the Gabe side of things, which is he was an incredible mentor. He was an incredible boss. He taught me so much. I'm not going to sit here and whatever the hell just happened over here. Like a
Percent of
wade
his
in those
hair
waters.
is awesome.
But you were saying it wasn't awesome for a little
He
bit.
weathered, powered through. You ever see guys at the beach going,
You're
good
trying
for you.
Can
Good
we
for you.
just
You're trying to
not?
save it, and you're digging yourself
No,
deeper.
I'm
Well,
not.
stop giving him the shovel.
Right.
You got a guy with
Chewy's
a big
right,
boiler
like,
wearing a
TVV
Speedo at the beach. Good for you. Way to go.
Right.
Terrible
TVV
comparison.
is not worried about your, this is this of the moment. This is trendy. This is out of
Thank
touch
you,
with
Craig.
reality. Tim Van Voorn is going to be secure in his
Yes.
hair, and he's secure in himself, and that's why he is beloved, and that is why he is the human that he is.
Me and you have just become best friends.
Yes, I agree. And TVV is our third
Yes.
amigo.
Yes.
Mr. Fantasy weighing in on the YouTube stream saying, can we get this guy on the show so we can see a pic? How do you not know who Tim Van Voorn is? Banned.
Yeah.
He got banned. This guy, Mr. Fantasy, banned from the text chain. I feel very strongly about Tim Van Voorn, okay? I'll go to war for Tim Van Voorn over here.
But you won't wear a mullet perm?
No, because I think it's no, I know. I don't think it's the
Almost got sucked in. He almost got you there.
almost. No, I will not. We got to take a break. Desperately. Thank you, Craig. I
Bye.
thought Chewy was the only
Love
one
you,
who could
Chewy.
absolutely
Love you too, buddy.
run us off the rails, but it turns out
Shocking.
quite the
Listen to that show?
What show? His?
Yeah, on Sundays.
Quite the accomplice you've got there, Chew.
We gave TVV credit. Got to start looking at a little blame too
What happened?
What?
for this. for everything we've done here.
He created a monster?
Correct.
Dr. Frankenstein?
Yes.
We'll take a break. Be right back after this.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Earlier accident on the Rock Freeway northbound at Racine Avenue has been cleared out of the way, so that's good news. Westbound side of 94, though, got some backups from about 16th Street all the way through to Hawley Road. Broken down vehicle right about at 35th Street on the eastbound side. Then we've also got more delays westbound on 94 from Highway 100 in past Elm Grove Road. Southbound 43 backing up just a little bit right past Keefe. Northbound side's heavy from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, windy and warm. A chance for afternoon rain or storms, a high of 80. Tonight, chance for showers far to the north, mostly cloudy and windy, a low of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
Born in the heart of the earth, natural diamonds rise up like the notes of a song from the throat of Mother Nature.
Rick, that was positively poetic. Mother Nature sings diamonds. Sarah, wow, you can sing.
Born in the heart of a plasma chamber, created diamonds fall softly like snowflakes from the heart of a star.
A star that shines like true love.
Natural diamonds are earthborn.
Created diamonds are starborn.
Kessler's has the largest selection of natural diamonds in the state of Wisconsin. All the different sizes, all the fancy shapes.
Give her a fancy diamond. We do diamonds better because diamonds are what we do.
Bigger, brighter natural diamonds.
And financing that makes anything possible.
Kessler's is the largest employee-owned jewelry company in America.
Which means we can do anything we want to do.
For you. Mother Nature sings diamonds.
For the location of the Kessler's nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Are you dreaming about summer in your backyard yet? Landworks handles projects of all sizes. From a cozy pocket patio lush with greenery to a grand outdoor hosting space and everything in between. Locally owned and operated, Landworks prides themselves on exceptional customer service and a personal approach to all of your landscaping needs. The Landworks team of experts will work closely with you, making your property shine all year. Experience the Landworks difference. Visit landworkswisconsin.com. That's landworkswisconsin.com.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
With curbside pickup available, you'll always find what you love only at Total Wine and More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
This Memorial Day, turn up the heat with the Home Depot. Find the perfect grill and patio set to keep the cookouts coming all season long. Grill up a feast with the Next Grill 4-burner gas grill, only $229. And complete your space with the stylish Glen Ridge Falls 7-piece dining set, now on special buy for just $499 with free delivery. Take your Memorial Day cookout to the next level all summer long with the Home Depot. See homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp recently surveyed more than 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. BetterHelp has more than 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We are all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout for 10% off your first month of therapy today. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee, a Good Karma Brands radio station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
But then it turned into my deal, and then it turns into the micromanaging. You know, we will have been married 14 years this year, okay? She's never potted a plant.
Kramer? Hey, buddy, hey. It's 8 o'clock in the morning. What the hell is going on? Breakfast. I got to be in at Brant Leland by 9. Why? Because I'm working there, that's why.
So, I kind of had a feeling it would be my job, but now it's like, you know, you got to take dirt out of that plant. And you got to knock the roots off. And you know, you got to water them when you're done. And you know, this is going to make a big mess, so go do it over here.
Jerry, I don't know if you've noticed, but lately I've been drifting aimlessly. Now that you mention it. But I finally realized what's missing in my life. Structure. And at Brant Leland, I'm getting things done.
Dyson, my one son, used to say it as a kid, and I used to laugh. He'd just say, "You're not the boss of me." So I had to pull that today. I said, "I don't work for you."
Wait, this morning already you had to pull that?
How much are they paying? No. I don't want anything. I'm doing this just for me. Clearly. So what do you do down there all day? TCB. You know, taking care of business.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wants.
You know, we got a lot of reaction, guys, rolling in on that conversation we started the show with this morning about the Packers revoking the tickets for people who have not attended. I think the window was 4 years. I think that's what it was. I mean, comment after comment, reaction after reaction, and I'm seeing it from both sides, if I'm being honest. If you don't go to the games, you shouldn't keep the tickets. Hard stop. That from Jim in the 262. Josh says, I think the Packers should remove him from the season ticket list, but you can put him back on the top of the waiting list once he resolves his situation with his family and he can go to games again. Greg weighs in saying, the Gold Package has a Thursday and a Monday game this year. It is much harder to attend for people who live out of town. Gabe, your reaction to that defense?
Well, yeah, I mean, which makes sense. But that's why I think the Packers also did multiple years. Like, this isn't, oh, you sold both of your tickets last year. I mean, in this specific instance, they have not been to a game and they've been selling tickets for 4 years per him. So, yeah, I think that, again, one game in 4 years seems feasible because not every game is going to be on a Monday or Thursday for 4 years.
Shouldn't it be based on games, though?
That makes more sense to me, yes, because it's 2 for the Gold Package, or Gold, yes, versus 8 if you have 8 home games and you have a plan that allows you to go to every home game.
Well, 6 for the green. Yes.
6 because you're right. The other 2 might carry the 1. Yes.
Can we all be honest with one another here for a moment? No. This has nothing to do with home field advantage. It has to do with the Packers having control.
I will agree that they're using that as an excuse.
Yes.
Because
here's a way to turn the fan base.
Because here's the argument that I will make to the Packers if they ever came at me about this thing. You got diehard fans who are doing the wave during the games. You got diehard fans who are making noise when your team is on offense in the red zone. So, like, don't come at me about home field advantage. Fix those things. Get those things cleared up. The fans who are there are still jamming it up for the team on the field.
Yeah, it's more about we have control, and we, even though they do get a cut, they don't get the profit, all the profit that happens when you sell those tickets. So it is a great way to sort of force the issue and sort of split the fan base on, oh, we want better home field event. They don't really care.
But there's a lot of people on the text chain, on both YouTube and on the Carbless Talking text chain, guys, that are saying, I'd love the opportunity to have Packers season tickets. I've been on the waiting list for X number of years. My family's been on the waiting list. And eliminating these people who it seems are using it exclusively as a money-making option would get me closer to actually getting tickets. And I would appreciate them so much more than seemingly the people who have them, Chew.
I don't know. I think it's fair. I think it's fair if they base it on the number of games. So 4, you get automatically 6, Gabe, for Green Bay.
For the green package, it's 6 games. Yes.
So
well,
24
7 if
games.
you bake in.
So
the
both
preseason.
sides gets 24 games. You have to at least attend one. I think that's fair.
So they would have to amend it a little bit.
Should there be an amendment that says, okay, but if you suck, that year's wiped out?
The team.
Yes.
Interesting.
If the Packers,
you still got to go. You got to go to one. Again, asking somebody to go to one game, I feel is a pretty low bar to clear.
I agree.
His point though is if the team is not good, then maybe you don't want to make the effort.
Then don't have your season tickets.
But again, but one of the things that the Packers also love is that they have fans from corner to corner, coast to coast in the country, right? So you start eliminating everyone that doesn't live in Wisconsin or nearby states, neighboring states.
Yeah, it's super. I feel it's such a low bar to clear. I have a hard time figuring out a way where, okay, you don't want your season tickets taken away. And I agree with everything Josh you said. Like, this is clearly a Packers power play, but that doesn't change the fact that this is still the rule that they have enacted. So if you're a fan that has season tickets and you don't want your season tickets taken away, going to a game over the course of 2 or 3 years seems like such a low bar to clear to keep your season tickets.
I agree with you in principle on that. I really do. My only caveat is this gentleman says this was the first he heard about it was in February. This gentleman is basically saying they were given no warning that this policy was being implemented, and by the time they were made aware of it, it was too late to rectify.
I'm guessing it's somewhere in the fine print as well, in your season ticket agreement. Because the Packers, when they announced this in February, saying, hey, this has actually been a part of the ticketing terms for a long time. But nobody reads that. You scroll right past it, or if you get a packet of information, you scroll on the last page, sign your name.
It's like my Apple contract. Scroll.
Yeah.
Fine.
Turns out you owe all this money now to Apple because you didn't read the fine print.
Well, it's like, I remember when I signed my letter of intent, I had no idea that was a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
No idea. Even while I was there,
it's not a 4-year scholarship.
Yeah. It is now. Right?
You can offer 4-year scholarships.
Okay.
Doesn't automatically mean it is, and especially with transfer portal, that whole thing is blown up. But yeah, you can offer a 4-year scholarship.
I think the right way to do this, because I agree mostly with Gabe in the principle, like Jen said as well, where I would prefer Packers fans go. I would prefer people not just be hawking them. I do think there should have probably been a warning. Hey,
yes,
you haven't gone to a single game in 3 years. You need to attend one, or we are going to take away your tickets because we would prefer fans to be there. That's probably the right way to do this.
Correct.
The reason I push back on it is the accumulating amount of things, and Jason listed it, not trying to pay our taxes, not trying to pay for the lease, all the things that come with it. Like, let's not forget the Green Bay Packers exist because of those gold package people.
Yes.
Those tickets that these people have had for so long, that's where he got him. His parents bought into it and saved the Green Bay Packers. So it feels almost like a person like that should get a little more leeway when it comes to, hey, you're just selling these to make a profit, which I don't love in theory. I'd prefer it goes to Packer fans. I would prefer those people who've been on the waiting list for so long get the opportunity to get those tickets. But it seems rather punitive if it wasn't something you were warned about explicitly.
Yeah. I think sending, if how many ever years the Packers are doing this, because they're kind of vague in their language too,
right,
purposefully.
Yes.
Vague in their language. But if you're making somebody, okay, you got to go one game every 4 years. All right, after 3 years, send them the form letter that you, instead of sending the form letter saying, hey, we're taking away your tickets, hey, you haven't been to a game in 3 years, got to go to one this year, otherwise your tickets are gone.
I want to wrap. Go ahead, Chew.
I wonder if other teams do this, and if not, will they follow suit? Because other teams have thousands and thousands of people on their waiting list as well.
Yeah.
I would think Pittsburgh.
Probably.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to happen in Jacksonville anytime soon.
No.
But, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are other places. I don't know how they handle that. I really don't.
I do want to wrap it up with this, guys. I got Seth weighing in on the YouTube stream. Remember, you can always stream the show on the YouTube page, ESPN Milwaukee. He says people were dropping like flies as season ticket holders in the 70s and 80s, to the point that Joshy made. The fine print only says we can take your tickets back for any reason. And he says if the Packers really cared, they would create a Packers ticket exchange only for registered Packers fans. And that, to me, guys, seems like a solution that should be investigated. It seems like something that they should think about, because I don't love what it seems like this led to, which was out of the blue, after not having been there, they were informed of it, at least this gentleman that we're referring to that we were talking about this morning who talked to WTMJ. He says he got no warning. He says the first he heard about it was in February. By then, it was too late to rectify it. It's not like you can go to a game retroactively. And he said in his appeal letter, give us 1 year to show you. Mm-hmm. Give us this year where we will go to the games, and the Packers still said no.
I have a question. Isn't there a licensing fee that you have to pay to become a season ticket holder? Isn't it like $2,500
there was
a ticket?
Seat tax is what they called it, right?
I can't... Honestly, I know there was talk about the Packers potentially doing it. I don't know if they actually did.
Yeah.
Because, I know, when the Giants and Jets built the new stadium, there were PSLs that went into that.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Packers actually ever went to that.
I swear I remember listening to Wilde and Tosh and one of the fans saying they basically had to pay, multiple thousands of dollars to get their package tickets that they got. And that was not even just for the season. It was part of doing the deal. So if we add that to the fact of churning those tickets and then acquiring an extra, $10,000 for 4 of them, now it starts to become a lot more gross. When you're like, well, now you're just getting a new license in there, a new person who's going to have to pay this, whatever fee it is. Now it's like, well, now you're just sticking it to fans, it seems like.
Zach has no sympathy. He says, sorry, it's not an income generator for you anymore. Hasn't been to a game in 4 years. Cry me a river. Mm-hmm. We will take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still have Rechew to get to. I
thought we already did it.
You thought that's what we were doing with Craig?
When he was quizzing you on who connected the two of you, and it turned out it was Tim Van Vorn. No, you still got to do Rechew. It's coming up shortly here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
BOGO on Connie's Original Thin Crust. That's right. It's going on right now. Pick and save in Metro Market for 2 weeks. So you still have 11 days to take advantage of buy one, get one Connie's Original Thin Crust. And with Connie's Frozen Pizza, you can enjoy pizzeria quality without the pizzeria prices. Favorite thing about Connie's, the unique crust. Cornmeal on the bottom, nice and crispy once you get it in the oven with all the toppings and the cheese that you come to expect with Connie's Original Thin Crust. Find it right now. Buy one, get one at Metro Market and Pick and Save for the next 2 weeks.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Seeing some delays now westbound 94 from Moreland Road all the way out towards Brookfield Road. Northbound 41 slowing down just before Mayfair Road all the way up past Capitol to Silver Spring. Southbound's heavy from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol as well. And then on northbound 43, backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, windy and warm. Chance for afternoon rain or storms, a high of 80 tonight. Chance of showers far to the north, mostly cloudy and windy, a low of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
At Potawatomi, where ways to win are endless, another chance to capture epic cash and prizes comes Friday, June 27th. It's the season finale blockbuster drawings. Watch your entries from Enchanted Spins, Unreal Treasures, and Boundless Bounty come together for drawings where $300,000 in cash and prizes is there for the taking. Be there to win your share. June 27th only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 years old to play.
Summer's getting closer, and Brewers action at American Family Field is only heating up. Don't miss a Midwestern throwdown between the Brewers and the Twins, May 16th through the 18th. Get a Jedi Jackson Churio Star Wars night bobble with a special theme night ticket on the 16th. Then get here early for an exclusive Brewers cribbage board giveaway for the first 25,000 fans on the 17th. Presented by 620 WTMJ. Get tickets at brewers.com.
This is an ad by BetterHelp.
BetterHelp recently surveyed more than 16,000 people and found that while 75% of people believe it is wise to seek support, only 27% of Americans are actually in therapy, and people stay silent to avoid being judged. BetterHelp has more than 10 years of experience matching you with the right therapist. We are all better with help. Visit BetterHelp.com/timeout for 10% off your first month of therapy today. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/timeout.
Carbless ready-to-drink cocktails are here for your flawless summer. Hey, it's Brad Nortman. Drinking Carbless and watching the crew is already a win, but now that combination is about to get a whole lot better. Carbless is offering you a sweet night at the ballpark. Your chance to win 14 tickets with food and drinks included to the July 26 game is just one shopping trip away. From now until the end of May, head to your local retailer and scan the QR code to register for your chance to win this amazing prize. A flawless summer night at the ballpark awaits.
Evan Cohen here. When the draft clock is ticking, you've got to pick the best talent, regardless of position, to fit your team's needs. Well, if you're hiring for your business, you want to find the best talent for any of your roles. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology hustles to find qualified candidates for your job immediately. And if you see a standout candidate, ZipRecruiter lets you personally invite them to apply. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL. Picture this. You're staying at a hotel about to take an important video call, but the Wi-Fi is slower than 1997 dial-up. You struggle with your phone's hotspot as clients complain about your connection. These stressful situations don't have to happen. When you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you get free high-speed Wi-Fi to handle critical emails, join meetings on time, and even unwind with your favorite shows. No more worrying about spotty connections. Enjoy stress-free stays with reliable Wi-Fi. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at LQ.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How are you feeling, big guy, about the MRI?
It's starting to hurt now. I think I have mental issues. I really do.
Well,
gonna have to clip that
yeah,
for me?
that's just, I mean,
just hold on to it?
Yeah.
I know, I don't think there's anything wrong. It's just, I think it's something in my brain's telling me
Something is wrong, buddy.
On 94.5 ESPN.
From the court to the classroom to the community, the Champions for Literacy celebration with Dwayne Wade and Travis Diener will be an evening you don't want to miss. Join Wade and Diener on June 27th, mark your calendars, June 27th, at the Garage at the Harley-Davidson Museum, and make an impact by raising funds for literacy. Get tickets and full event information right now. It's at wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com, wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com.
Think you know the show better than the average ESPN Milwaukee fan? Now's your chance to prove it. It's time to play The Week in Rechew.
Josh, you were aware of what a disaster this was last week, right?
I did not catch this. What happened?
Well, because you only sent Will the audio clips and no questions.
Oh.
So he had to try to come up with questions just based off the audio clips, and it wasn't great.
That's on me. I read it. I wrote it. Did it all. I just forgot to send it to him, apparently.
Doesn't sound like all should apply.
Well, I just forgot to include it on the email.
Oh, okay.
He did 99.9% of it.
That's fine.
Just forgot the 0.1 that
So how did it go?
Did I win?
No, it was terrible.
It's just disaster.
It was just disaster. Just absolute disaster. I mean, Will got, asked a couple of decent questions, but
yeah. And he could have
good.
also just reached out to me.
Well, that's between you and Will. We're having too much fun blaming you. So we've got 5 questions here, quizzing Chewy on what he does and does not remember, things that he said throughout the course of this week. 5 questions, Chew. Get 3 right, you win. Get 3 right, you lose. You ready to go?
Yes.
Joshy, question number 1.
I heard they taste good, though. They call it the white prime rib. Sandhill Cranes.
What are they commonly referred to as?
Well, I've been heard as the white prime rib. So I'm going to call it ribeye.
So
in
there's
the
a
sky.
fill in the blank there.
Yeah.
You got it.
Ribeye in the sky.
So there we go. Sandhill Crane after that conversation.
Should we get some? You know how we did snake before and...
I would want to figure out the legality of buying, frying.
I'm sure you can get it in Montana.
Again,
or
once
Texas
you buy it, like I'm sure it's
just
legal
so
to
you know,
eat it.
this is how our Seinfeld final episode begins. It's him suggesting that we go get some Sandhill crane, and then we are in jail because it's illegal.
Ordering Sandhill crane.
Oh boy, I'll let him deal with that, and if it's expensive, deal with the fallout of his wife. You spent how much on
Yeah,
what?
I know.
Question number 2, we're 1 for 1. Joshy?
And then what do you do? Clearly, the guy who gets cold.
What is the name of the guy who gets cold?
You nailed it
Jacob
yesterday.
Monk.
What the heck?
Let's go.
You know what's crazy? He looked at my face as though it were written across my nose or something. Good job, Chew.
Thank you.
All right, 2 for 2. Question number 3.
It's a
CL.
Quado. Remember
Yes.
Quado from Total Recall?
Well, yeah, your stomach. We've talked about that before.
There's someone in there.
Yeah.
What bodily function did you try to change the name of this week?
Oh, the burp.
But what about the burp?
Specifically.
It wasn't my fault.
Yeah, but how did you burp?
With my mouth. Well, no, it wasn't a burp because I had my mouth closed. Am I right?
So what did you call it? We called it a clerp.
A closed mouth burp. I was really hoping you would just have the audio of Jen's read of Chewy just letting it fly. During quite possibly like one of the more serious reads we have.
Yeah, there isn't a worse live read to burp during than that specifically. Across the station. Across the whole station.
You guys didn't hear it.
You're
All right, what do we got?
Question number 4.
Would you care to rebuttal Josh's allegations, Josh's claims, Chew?
No, he's spot on.
What was Josh spot on about this week?
No
Oh,
idea.
I want you to
I
get
don't
this
remember.
so
What day?
badly.
Yesterday. Deals with question number 1.
Do you remember question number 1?
No.
Come on. Question number 1. Think.
Burp.
That was
That
question
was
number
3.
3. Come on, go 2 questions ago. The burp, the something. What was the first thing we asked you about today?
I have no idea.
Oh,
this
my
is
God.
concussion. This is what it does. It kills your short term, but long term it's fine. Like the first question, I'm really trying to think.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
Dealt with Sandhill cranes.
Oh, okay.
So now what was Joshy absolutely dead on about?
I'm an idiot?
Well,
I mean, that's a good default answer.
Half credit.
What?
The people of Lake County, Lake Country, calling the
Oh.
cops on a crane.
And you said they're what?
Well, I went on that rant of saying there's nothing more Lake Country, people of Oconomowoc, to have a nuisance bird, to call the cops, to then have it shot.
Yes.
Yes.
And I said, would you like to, contradict or refute those claims? You said no.
Spot on. And it's too much to work. Too much work to look for Sandhill crane meat. So we're out.
Gave up already.
It went to Reddit. What is Reddit?
Really?
It's a forum.
Community forum.
Yeah.
Give me another example of Reddit, which would be what? X? Is it like X?
Kind of, but
It's more of like, I am in this situation.
Is it like neighbor, the next door?
It's similar.
It's almost like an old school chat room, but
Yeah.
also a place where you can post like links and stories. So it's like a combination of a social
so it's
network,
like- okay.
news, like it's all, but it's
like
community
next door
driven.
app. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I got you.
you've already won, but let's see if you can get the 5th and final question.
I forgot what we were disagreeing about. I just wanted to disagree.
Oh, we're
That
doing
was
that
with
today?
you.
Hey,
I heard
thanks-
it makes good
Thank
radio.
you for the
What did you disagree about? Simply just to disagree.
I don't know. I know it was with you, and I said it just because it's supposed to be
He
good
wanted
radio.
to be compelling, as if everything else that comes out of his mouth is it in some way,
Just
shape, or
boring.
The
form.
Packers.
Bucks fans turning on Giannis.
Close.
Bucks fans turning on Giannis.
Yeah. And I still disagree with you.
Just to disagree.
Is it wholehearted or just?
I won.
You did. Congratulations. That was very impressive. I am looking up sandhill cranes to eat, just again for research. I'm out.
Aren't you a bit curious, though?
I'm out.
Do you like prime rib?
I do. I love
like
it.
ribeyes?
I can't. The pictures are making me queasy.
Really?
Yeah.
It's probably just meat. Yeah, it probably just looks like meat.
It doesn't. It looks like a bird, which is crazy because I have no problem with turkey.
Chicken.
And chicken. They're foul.
Yeah.
But
goose, duck.
yeah, it's fair. We
Quail.
probably keep going. But I don't know. I'm telling you.
Crow.
You can hunt them in many states and eat them in. It says and eat them in any state. Now that's Reddit, so I don't know if we should subscribe to it completely.
I don't know if I would not take that as
Would you eat
gospel.
it?
Yeah.
You would eat it, right?
Of course.
Yeah. It's because we're grinders. Me and you.
Mm-hmm. Hard work.
Yep.
Deserve some crane? Is that what's happening here?
That's
Working
exactly.
so hard.
Yeah, they've grinded so much that they
Welcome.
deserve some ribeye of the sky. That's what they deserve.
I'm going to look it up and see if you can even eat sandhill crane in Wisconsin. If you can order it from a state where it is legal to hunt and serve, and then if it's illegal to eat in Wisconsin. I'm going to let you know. Go ahead, Gabe.
It doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue for any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. They've been helping me for years, and they can help you as well. If your testosterone levels are low, well, how do you know that? Are you tired, groggy? Just don't feel like yourself. Don't feel like you have that energy that you did even a year or two ago. All of those are signs of low testosterone. To find out if it is, book an appointment. LowTUSA.com is Mentality's website. You go through their process, get a blood panel done. Within a week, your results are back to you. And if your testosterone levels are low, Mentality has a customized testosterone treatment plan just for you. You can compete at work and sports like you did years ago. Remember, your career is a competition. You need every edge you can get. Mentality can help. Go to LowTUSA.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's schedule. Learn more about Mentality's low testosterone treatments. LowTUSA.com.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Delays along southbound 41 starting around Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol. Northbound's backed up from just before Mayfair Road up to Silver Spring. Northbound 43 heavy from Fond du Lac Avenue to Keefe. And then we've got some delays westbound 94 from about Moreland Road all the way past Calhoun to Brookfield Road. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy skies. It'll be windy and warm with a chance of afternoon rain or storms, a high of 80 tonight. Chance for showers far to the north, mostly cloudy and windy, a low of 52. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, it's Jen Latta, and I'm here with Sarah Neubauer from Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Okay, so it's already mid-May, and to a lot of us, that means summer parties are coming up, bachelorette parties, and holiday weekends. Sarah, tell us why Potawatomi Casino Hotel is the perfect destination for your celebration.
Yeah, well, this is an easy decision in my book. We're a 24/7 playground for adults that has thousands of slot machines, table games, a world-class poker room, high-stakes bingo, and a stunning new sports book. And that's just scratching the surface.
Yeah, that's right. Casino may be in your name, but there's so much more to Potawatomi these days, right?
Exactly. And we have a winning combination of gaming, entertainment, absolutely delicious dining, and luxury accommodations all under one roof.
Okay, tell us about the entertainment that people can check out.
So for starters, we have live music on Wednesdays at Bar 360, one of our many bar and lounges on property. And Saturdays, you have a choice of live bands at our Rock and Brews restaurant or a live DJ at 1100 Bar and Lounge. Now, if you're looking for a show, we have those two, like Anthony Pettis Fight Club, where there's live MMA fights in our event center, and much more.
Now, all of these games and activities will certainly work up an appetite, but there's plenty of food options at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, too.
Yes, we have 7 dining locations on property, and one of those is a late-night marketplace with at least 5 more dining options to choose from, and those are open until 1 a.m. every day. And we have 3 bars, which doesn't even include the bars in our restaurants, such as Potawatomi Sportsbook, Rui, and Rock and Brews.
Like you said before, it doesn't feel like we're even scratching the surface here. For example, there's also a gorgeous hotel on property, perfect for your getaway or celebration. Where can everyone go to learn more?
Potawatomi.com. That's Potawatomi, Potawatomi.com.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all off season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at greatmidwestbank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's your pal Donald Driver here. For 10 years, I've been working with the Wisconsin DOT to get everyone to wear their seatbelt. And it's working. Nearly 90% of Wisconsin drivers buckle up, which makes me want to say to the ones who don't, come on, man. If you don't wear your seatbelt, you're going nowhere fast. Buckle up. If you don't, it can cost you money or a lot worse. Click it or ticket, and let's work together to save lives. Take my driving safety quiz at zeroinwisconsin.gov.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, has college football gotten a little sleazy where you can recruit a little?
No, I'm saying from the standpoint, it used to be.
That was good.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Discover an unreal treasure this May at Potawatomi. Don't miss your chance to win a share of $300,000 in cash and prizes. Just play with your rewards card for entries. Prize drawings are on Thursdays. Unreal treasures this May at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Your win is waiting. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
It's not that bad. It was just a little cough.
I was 7 feet away from my mic.
7 feet? You were
Why are you turning your mic on?
Why
if
is
you're
my
not
mic
talking?
so sensitive?
You're a foot away.
Right?
Just don't turn it on until she's done with the read.
You don't, when he says right, I just stopped. I'm ignoring you. I want to talk about Caleb Williams, guys. I think you guys all saw this news yesterday. So Seth Wickersham, very, very talented writer for ESPN. I always say read whatever Seth Wickersham does because it is always valuable. He is writing a book about quarterbacks in the United States. And Caleb Williams happens to be a quarterback in the United States. And it seems like Caleb Williams' father shared a story about them seeking to take legal action, seeing what their rights were for Caleb to not go to the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears had the number 1 overall pick. It was likely that Caleb was going to go there. Caleb, for his credit, always wanted to be the number 1 overall pick. That was a goal of his. But he didn't want to go to the Bears. And this has now come out. He wanted to go to the Vikings because he really liked Kevin O'Connell. And who doesn't, by the way? Who doesn't like Kevin O'Connell? Seems like a really good guy. You only don't like him because he's the Vikings head coach.
That's correct.
But if you weren't the Vikings head coach,
I'd be indifferent.
I think you might like him, actually. I think we could tip the scale.
Fact of the matter is, he's a Vikings head coach and I hate him.
How bad of a look is this now? And I want to be clear. I don't think it's a bad look for the players. Yesterday, I heard conversations about if you were in the locker room, would you? Caleb Williams wasn't making a indictment on the players who are in the Bears locker room. Most of those guys didn't have a choice where they landed either. Caleb Williams, if this is all accurate, was making an indictment on the organization and their ability to cultivate was the word I was looking for, but that's not right. Grow quarterbacks to
develop quarterbacks.
That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, Gabe. Develop quarterbacks, Chew. Your reaction to this information?
It's okay to believe it, but those are things you can't say out loud because now he's forced by his own words to play well this year. And if he doesn't, I mean, this could destroy him. I mean, look at Watson.
Yeah, this is
Watson and he's done. He's done, right? Because his confidence is shot, and Cleveland wants him gone anyways. But if he starts out shaky like he did last year, fans will turn on him.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. But this is funny because to me it's a similar conversation we had earlier this month about Christian Watson's dad.
Yes,
like why are you putting your kid in a position where now he has to answer for you?
Yeah.
Like, why is Caleb Williams dance? That's fine that this all happened behind the scenes. And obviously it did. We had no idea, right? There were rumors last year of, could Caleb Williams really force his way out of the Bears and go someplace else? And, it seemed like it got nipped in the bud pretty quickly. And the Bears, in this piece, Ryan Poles, their general manager, told Williams and his dad that, we're going to draft you no matter what. But why is your dad spilling all the beans to Seth Wickersham? I mean, good on Seth for getting the info, because this is juicy. And I love this as a Packers fan. But if I'm Caleb Williams, why do I now have to go to OTAs and minicamp and answer for something my dad did? And spilling all the behind-the-scenes details to an author for a book on the record.
My guess is it had more to do with Eberflus.
Correct.
And how dysfunctional they were.
Correct.
As opposed
and there's
to the
a lot
because
there.
if he came in this year with Ben Johnson, he probably would have loved Ben
Correct.
Johnson.
And I think that is an important detail that people, it is fun to dunk on the Bears. I'm not going to lie. It's fun to be like, haha, even your quarterback doesn't want to be there. But that was a different regime. Now, you could argue, well, some of the pieces are still the same, right? The ownership is still the same. The GM is still the same, but a totally new coaching staff. And so if I were playing devil's advocate, I would say maybe you give Caleb Williams some grace here, Bears fans, because there has been a turnover at the coaching level, maybe in part because these frustrations, Gabe, got up the chain, and it was like he didn't even want to be here. He saw a level of incompetence from this coaching staff, and so what did we do? We cleaned house.
And it continued. It continued because during the season, Williams said he would watch film alone with no instruction or guidance from the coaches. Quote, "No one tells me what to watch," Caleb Williams told his dad. "I just turn it on."
And Jaden Daniels doesn't help at all, because I'm sure his Bear fans are going, pick the wrong guy again.
I know we can point to the coaching staff, but the ineptitude still starts at the top, and that ineptitude still remains there, be it ownership and the GM that hired the coach and then retained him despite them having a brand new first overall pick quarterback coming in. I know you can make the case for Ben Johnson, and he might, as we know, change the Bears and make them a serious contender. But they're still battling with the utmost incompetence at the very tip-tops of that organization.
Which I don't understand. Why wouldn't you hire someone from an organization that's done, like the Packers? If I'm going to a new team, I'm pilfering their coaching staff and I'm pilfering their front office. You know why? Because they do it right. Right?
I mean, we've seen that, though. I mean, Elliot Wolf no longer there. He's running things out in New England.
I'm saying the Bears.
Oh.
Why wouldn't you just reach into the well?
Well, but that's what they did
2 hours north of you.
Well, that's what they did with the Detroit Lions, because the Lions are the team that's won the division the last couple of years. So they went and they got Ben Johnson, who obviously brought some of his guys along.
We all know, Gabe, they're going to revert back to the old Lions eventually.
Yeah.
They always do. I mean, this organization has been solid since 92. It's a long time.
Yeah, far be it for me to ask you guys to agree with anything Caleb Williams and his family say, but are they wrong?
No.
Is there anything wrong about what Caleb Williams' dad is asserting about the Bears' history of an inability to develop, especially at that position his son is playing?
The only thing he did wrong is he said it out loud to a member of the media. Because now you're causing your kid to answer for something that now you're doing. Yes, you had these conversations behind the scenes, but Caleb is there now. Okay, we didn't maybe want him to go to the Bears. It's too late for that. He's already there. Now you don't want to cause this distraction and this doubt. And I mean, I'm sure there are some Bears fans that are like, "Oh, this guy didn't want to be here from day one. Blame this guy."
Yeah.
And you don't want to have that when your son's trying to play quarterback after basically getting no help last year from the coaching staff, trying to learn how to play the position in the NFL, and now he's got to deal with this.
I do think it is important to point out, though, that the overeager parent and the over-involved parent and maybe the child you have some issues with and thinking they're better than they are and deserve more than they should, that stuff isn't going anywhere. So as much as Ben Johnson might help, do you think this is the last time we've heard from Caleb Williams? We'll hear from Caleb Williams' dad, or there'll be no more acrimony around Chicago? I have a hard time believing that.
Yeah.
All that matters is if they win. If they win, this will be a blip, right? We'll laugh about it. They'll laugh about it, a year from now. If they lose, this is the type of thing that poisons the well. This is the type of thing that creates a toxicity that you can't come back from. So they got to win. So they put a little more pressure, fair or unfair, on Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams et al. To get it right.
What do you do, Chew, as a teammate? Now he's there, but when you see something like this, if you're, Cole Kmet, and you're the starting tight end of the Chicago Bears, and you see the story.
Well, but actually, Chewy, this might even be similar. I mean, when the Packers were a non-franchise before Brett got there. So if you had found out that Brett had tried to not be traded to the Green Bay Packers because he thought that that's where quarterbacks go to die, or it's an unserious franchise, would you have been mad at Brett, or would you have been like, well, history sort of backs up what he's saying?
He's kind of a clown show in 92. He's more of a circus act. Hey, try and hit the top of the dome. Okay. Boom, boom, right? I mean, it's not like, I didn't even know who the hell he was, to tell you the truth. Really.
But if you had found out.
When you're in college, when I was in college, I watched zero NFL. Most guys don't watch it. Because you're so sick of watching film.
Well, but then he was he played college when you did. I mean, he was out for your senior year. But it's not like you were watching Southern Miss tape. You were probably paying attention to ACC schools.
Yeah. You just don't watch NFL football. You get so sick of it, you know?
This is
just like, conversely, when I was with the Packers, I didn't watch college football. Didn't. I don't think people realize the job of it. That it's really a job,
What question did you ask Brett when you first met him?
Well, I know what Frank said. He said, "Are you a linebacker?" No, I'm a quarterback. Really? Okay, that's God's honest truth. Yeah.
Because he's a little, bloated.
He was beefy.
A little bloated from the beer.
He's a little. Now it's coming out of Southern Miss, 6'3", 292 pounds. Brett Favre. Little beefy. Yeah, he's fun though. I don't know if you guys knew this. We had a little fun.
Really?
Yeah.
First I'm hearing of this.
So lucky there were no cell phones.
Looking for localized banking solutions and a strategic partner, Fifth Third Bank has been shaping the future for businesses for 167 years, and for the last 15 right here in Milwaukee. We offer industry-specific expertise, local decision-making, and extensive experience to help navigate the ever-changing business landscape with your business in mind. At Fifth Third, they're big enough to provide sophisticated solutions and expert guidance, yet empowered to make local decisions and build strong community connections. And I assure you, they have built very strong community connections here in Milwaukee. Experience the commercial banking value only Fifth Third can deliver. Fifth Third Bank, National Association, custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99, feeds 5 to 8 people, and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Brewers fans, this is your chance for you and your crew to cheer on our crew while they're on the road this summer. Visit brewers.com/ExploreMN to enter for your chance to win Game Day Getaway Sweepstakes. Presented by Explore Minnesota. One lucky winner will receive 4 tickets to the games on July 21st and 22nd in Minneapolis, 2 nights of hotel accommodations, and a $1,500 Visa gift card. Don't wait, the sweepstakes ends May 29th. No purchase necessary. See brewers.com/ExploreMN for official rules.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so that you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Hey, I'm buying a fixer-upper for my first home. Is that something you can help with?
Of course. We are here for all your construction needs at Professional Construction, Inc. With over 20 years of experience, our team will help from the design process through the finished product.
A living room with lime green and wood-paneled covered walls with shag carpets isn't quite working for me.
That's not quite my style either. But regardless, we are here to make your dreams a reality. Visit us at professionalconstructioninc.com.
Hey, Wisconsin, it's your Green Bay football buddy John Kuhn here, reminding you to buckle up for safety whenever you get in your vehicle. Whether you're driving to work, school, shopping, or to catch the big game, remember, click it or ticket. Buckling up saves lives. Every trip, every time. Don't risk it, guys. It's not worth the ticket or the danger. Click it or ticket. Zero in Wisconsin. Together, we can save lives. Brought to you by Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Join NBA stars Dwayne Wade and Travis Diener on the links at Hidden Glen Golf Course or at the Champions for Literacy celebration on June 27th at the Garage at the Harley-Davidson Museum. Help bring awareness to youth literacy and support Milwaukee's youth. Get full event details at wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com. And if you can't make the party, learn more about the Elite Youth Basketball Camp happening on June 28th at wadeversusdiener.givesmart.com. That's wadevsdiener.givesmart.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
How much will Angie let you grow a beard?
I would say for 3 months I have to keep a beard if I lose.
Okay, and Angie would allow you to have a beard for 3 months.
She doesn't run my life. Drop that.
Yeah. On 94.5 ESPN.
Here we go.
From a strictly Packers perspective, guys, is there any part of you that is concerned, even the slightest, that this revelation by Caleb Williams' dad puts more pressure on Caleb Williams, more pressure on Ben Johnson, etc., and for that reason, they elevate to a level that, makes things difficult for Green Bay?
No, I see it going the other way.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I'm at. I mean, the more pressure that's on them, Caleb Williams didn't rise to the occasion last year.
But also, we just found out nobody was watching film with him, and he was doing it all
we
on
honestly
his own.
don't know how Ben Johnson going to be a really good offensive coordinator. Have no idea how he is as a head coach. No idea. Might be good. He could be good. Could go the other way.
Is there any part of you that maybe questions the claim on not watching film? That maybe it might be a convenient excuse for lack of performance?
Yeah, but it also seems so Bears to
Sounds
just
like
go,
you
hey,
do.
I want to be on both sides of this because it would be Bears ineptitude, but there's also parts of it where we want Caleb to get credit for the good things he did, but all the bad stuff wasn't actually his fault.
A little bit. There are bad coaches, though. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
There are bad coaches that don't know what the hell they're doing. But usually that gets gobbled up by other position coaches. Because we just call them babysitters.
Mhm.
He's a babysitter for them. And then they coach him on the fly.
Yeah, well, but they did hire the worst hire they could at offensive coordinator in Shane Waldron.
Yes.
Who was subsequently fired before Eberflus was fired.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I can see what you're saying, Josh. Might be a little column A, column B. But that's good for us.
Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll be back with you on Monday. Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN